Hey, welcome to Life Beyond Board Games, where board gamers just like you share stories, challenges, and secrets outside board gaming. We'll hopefully make you feel good, laugh, cringe, cry, or maybe even fall asleep.
I'm Eric from What's Eric Playing.
I'm Stella from Maple University.
But Stella, you're not at the university right now. You're Stella in the bedroom.
Yeah, I was going
I'm in
to say,
Bali.
Stella's studying abroad. Maple University offers some really killer summer rates.
Student exchange. Thank you to Bali, except no exchange with anyone else.
Yeah, well, tuition's high too. What can you do?
Yeah.
And I am Candace from Board Game Geek. Melissa is not here today. She might be in Stella's basement back at the university. We don't know.
Or, dear listener, she might be right behind you right now.
She has been recruited to a university, so she's just intense studying right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe.
Today, we're going to be talking about when you play a game for the first time and it falls flat with you, and it's like, what made it fall flat? Is it that the game just doesn't jive with you? Is it the people you're playing with? There are all sorts of like different factors that can contribute to you, me, anybody having a bad first experience with a game. And it's something that I've been just trying to make note of, because sometimes I'll play a game with someone and I'll be like, oh, I know they're going to like love this game. And if they don't, just because of like other things they like and whatnot, and if they don't, I'm like, like what happened? And what I notice is sometimes it's people are hungry. People are hungry and or tired. You know, when you're at a game convention and you're just playing games back to back all day, it's super fun, but it's also like taxing on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So then playing something like later in the day might not feel great. We have what I call the cold teach, when it's like, if I'm teaching a game that I've never played and nobody at the table has played, that's what I call a cold teach. There are probably going to be some mistakes, and like not everybody will enjoy that like bumpy onboarding into games.
Mm-hmm.
And then also I think there's like people will have expectations sitting down to the table, like, oh, this is designed by Rainer Knizia, so I know it's going to be good. And then
if there's one thing I'd say about Rainer Knizia, it's all of his games are the same. Yup.
so see that, Eric? You're going to sit down at the table to play a new Rainer Knizia, and you have opinions going in, and it's going
This is just like the other 1,500 games he designed.
And if it's not, are you going to be mad? Are you going to be happy?
Get original.
But also, I guess what goes along with this is like, is it like, do you guys feel like it's worth it, or when do you feel like it's worth it to later down the line revisit this game? Like, let's say you sit down, you play this game for the first time, and you thought you were going to like it, and you really like it, just was like pretty mid. And like at that point, you know, there are millions of games out. Do you say I'm done with that, or do you say I want to play that more and make sure I'm understanding what's going on before I kind of like judge it as something I don't like?
Well, let's go back to some of those factors, right? Like,
I know I said a lot, didn't I?
I was going to say,
No.
the factors I think are an important consideration, right? So like, I've played games where the rule book is so bad that we attempted to play it, read the rule book, everyone looked around and they're just like, no, and then we put it back away. That's probably not going to get another play. There's examples where just the situation is bad. One of my favorite examples of this is, you know, Motainai from Asmati?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is, again, not a dig at Motainai, which I think is a wonderful game. It's just hard. I was teaching it to one of my friends. She was having a particularly bad day. She started crying. And we just kind of very slowly put the game back in the box. So we put the box away.
Yeah.
That's not Motainai's fault-ish.
Right.
It is not because it's a bad game, just situationally wasn't the right game for that moment. there's like, I had a bad first play because, you know, when Stella was teaching the rules, I was texting and I missed the rules. And now I'm mad because I missed the rules. That's a bad player. Maybe put them in a box for next time. But like, I don't know, Stella, what do you think?
I think this is a very valid question as well. I would split it into three things: the rules, the people, and the environment, I think. So the people would probably contribute. All right, I am used to be taught, if, I was taught by certain ways that, it needs to be logical. Otherwise, my brain couldn't like, what was that? I don't understand this. I mean, some people might teach something like, okay, this is what you do on your turn, but hang on. So what is this game's about? What's the theme? So what's the overview and how do you win? And then it gets the details, right?
I will say, as an education person, the like, I'm a visual learner thing is largely fake.
Yes.
But there are at least accessibility constraints, though. Like, I have friends who have different types of neurodiversity, processing issues, auditory processing issues. So that's, I think, where some of that came from, is that people are like, oh, I'm a visual learner because I have an undiagnosed auditory processing disorder. And then there's people who are like, I just don't like listening to other people. And those are a very distinct, like a distinctly different groups of people. But
yeah.
So I just had and like there are two like kind of stories that come to mind when I think of this, even though there are lots of them. But one that was recent was with the new Lightning Train game from Paul Dennen, who designed Clank and Dune Imperium, which are both very popular games. And I had 3 people. We played a 4-player game. I thought, just like kind of looking at it, I was like, oh, it's a train game, like I'm sure Paul's probably doing something a little different. We got the bag building, but we're probably picking stuff up and delivering it. So I didn't really prepare as well as I should have, like in terms of teaching that game, because also the player aid is pretty weak in the game, and there were like some graphic design issues. But again, had I like really, really made sure I knew the deal before I start teaching it to people, it would have been much smoother. So we had one person at the table who's he's a good friend of mine. He's a very quick learner. Like he played Great Western Trail with the Rails to the North expansion when it first came out with us, and he had never played Great Western Trail, and he like crushed it. He just like picks stuff up really fast. And then you have my partner Matt was playing with us, and he is a lot slower. He does not play a lot of board games like we do. So even just like me doing this bumpy teach where I'm popping to the rule book here and there, the other 2 players who were really experienced gamers were like, okay, yeah, like that thing. And then it would be like, Matt would be like, oh, like, wait, what was that? So we have different experience levels. Then, because of all of that, one player felt like there was too much downtime. And there was, because number one, I had taught the game. I'm all frazzled trying to make sure everybody's doing stuff right. So I'm not paying attention to what I'm going to do on my next turn in between turns. So I'm slowing things down. Then Matt's still like learning things, so he's slowing things down. And that contributed to one of the guys' experiences. And he came out like being like, I do not like this. Now, I found that there were rules mistakes. Again, onus on me doing a bad job preparing and teaching.
It's normal though. The first teach, you just learned it.
Wait, you're saying it's normal for Candace to do a bad job?
No. For people, I'm so sorry.
I know, Stella, what's up with that?
Not what I meant at all. Oh my gosh. Okay, bye everyone.
Dang. Yeah. Dang, that's
it's totally okay for the first stage. Like everyone makes mistakes. I definitely make mistake often.
I agree, but like I think my lack of preparedness like went beyond that.
No, Candice, that game though, That game is quite deceitful. It's actually a heavier like strategy. It looks
Yes,
light, the artwork's light, but it's actually quite
it's
kinky.
heavier than
Yes, it
and
looks totally.
lots more to think about, like connecting that
Absolutely.
transcontinental train. And I didn't
Yes.
even like know what the transcontinental part was until I started teaching. So that's what I mean. Like I didn't fully read. Like I skimmed, I set up, and I was like, okay, this whatever. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So because of all those factors, and also the rule book, there's some nitpicks I have, and again the player aid. You guys have both played the game.
I have. Eric hasn't, I don't think.
I have not.
Okay. Because it's like a game where in order to build certain things, you need to have a contract to do
Correct.
it. But other things you don't need a contract for. And it's like they could have just put like the contract icon by the actions that require a contract. Like little things like that they could have done to like ease in. But like we messed up stuff that like absolutely contributed to how the game felt for us to play. Like we were missing, the whole thing is bag building, and there's a rule that's kind of hidden that when you build a rail line off of one of your own stations, you can take a free train chip from the supply. Like that
Classic.
That would have been huge to know. Yeah.
If there's one thing I'm doing, it's always taking train chips from the supply.
I know. That's why I'm like,
even Eric knows. Oh my gosh, I missed that rule.
That. Every time I see a supply, I'm like, hey, you guys got any train chips?
But yeah, so just to wrap it up, there is like I liked the game. There was enough that like excited me as I was kind of learning through playing and playing out this first bumpy game. But it's not something where I walked away from the table and could be like, I have a concrete opinion on this game, because we didn't play it right. Like there were so many factors. And for me, I'm like, oh, I want to play it again correctly and see how it feels. Whereas other people at the table might be like, I hate this game. And like, and I'm trying to say like, wait, just look with your first play goggles and like, so anyways, that's my lightning.
So you're saying don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, that's what it's always been about.
It is not the players. This is not the people. This is kind of like the unexpected situation. Exactly.
Well, it's a lot of, especially the more complex a game tends to be, the more like it's just a matter of like, let's think about it this way, right? Let's say that you, an experienced player, has a 5% chance of messing up or missing a rule, right?
Mm-hmm.
As the number of rules in the game increase, it's not that your percentage goes up, but it is that you are the odds of that number of missed rules being higher increases, right? That's just how probability works. So you kind of need to cut people some slack. Now, like simple lower complexity party games, I've definitely played one time and been like, I've got about the gist of this. I think I could like do my review because I feel like I understand what the game is about.
Yeah.
It's much rarer for me to do that with more complex games because of that, like, first play, you miss some rules, you mix some things around. But I will say that this also has gone back to, like, I know we were talking about, not house rules, but sort of, like, game night policies a few episodes ago. And this is also my, like, no new strategy games after 9 p.m. Like, if I'm teaching it, I'm going to mess up some rules. And we've definitely had people who get mad before because I messed up a rule. I'm like, then you teach it next time. And they're like, I don't want to teach it. I'm like, then don't complain.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell me I'm doing a bad job and then refuse to do a better one. That's not useful feedback.
Thank you.
That said, it does sound like you did a bad job, so I
did, and I was like, I wasn't like beating myself up. Like I'm not losing sleep over
it. I don't know. Listeners, do you think Candace should have sought penance? Let us know in the comments below.
Like, when you look at the board, to be honest, I mean, it reminds you of Ticket to Ride, right? And then you immediately has got this perception, Yeah. Although it's way higher than, like, more complex than Ticket to Ride.
Classic human pattern matching error.
Yeah. I really got I got like Ticket to Ride, I got Railways of the World, I got Nucleum with the way that like as you build your chips on the board, you're losing your like bag building resource.
Mm-hmm.
I got not what's the other one? Imperial Steam, which is a very heavy game.
Right.
Like so he's kind of like it feels like a blend of a lot of different things kind of presented in a different way. And I'm excited to try it again.
There is something to also deceptive complexity, like a game that seems like it's going to be lighter or heavier than it is. Because I've definitely played some games that I thought were going to be heavy, and they ended up being light, and I was a little bit disappointed. For me, a lot of that has to do with box size. Here's looking at you, Splendor.
Right.
I'm like, oh, this will be a doozy, and I pull out like a sandwich bag worth of components, and I'm like, dang it, bamboozled again. You got me, big, selling me a box that's mostly air.
Well, then also think about this, Eric.
I will never.
Let's say I'm playing Splendor with you, and you're ticked off because the box threw you off and deceived you, and now you're having a bad time. And now you're kind of like in a mood and it's impacting Stella and I.
Oh, I would never bring that kind of bad vibes.
That's actually true though. But pretend.
Like,
it's my example.
If I'm having a bad time, I keep it to myself.
Learn how to be an example.
Quite honestly, more often, if I'm having a bad time, I switch over to my primary objective, which is end the game as soon as possible. And that is that is a very good like primary. If you're like, I'm not enjoying this game, it is time for the game to end.
Or you can just say it like, hey, I don't actually enjoy this game. Can we just stop it?
And I have definitely had that happen before. We've quit a game after a round or something. I usually ask people for review purposes if we can get to the game to like a stopping point. So I can at least have the like experience of doing X, Y, or Z year-round cleanup or something. But I completely think that if it's not going well, it doesn't benefit anybody to force it to go all the way to the end.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, I totally agree, and it's kind of like definitely going to be a group dependent thing. But I just kind of want to encourage everybody to think about that for a minute. Like if you finished a game that you suspected you would like, either by the theme, the designer, or the style of game, and then you kind of leave the table after that first game, it's like just pause for a minute and be like, was it the teach? Was it me not like grasping rules?
Yeah.
Was it
dig
that
into
Eric
the why.
Was hungry and
just kept eating cocktail shrimp while we were trying to play.
It was like drooling over the cocktail shrimp.
Okay, look, I'm not supposed to eat board game components anymore, and I have not done that in at least several weeks.
But yeah, just food for thought to like think about that, and because like sometimes I think games do deserve a second chance.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, if you think a game deserves a second chance, you can also bring it to a new group. And then you can come back to the first group and say, hey, we played this wrong, and I think it really changes the game.
Yeah.
Or, we all have 200 friends because we're extremely popular people. So, like, worst case scenario, you just don't play that game with that group anymore.
Speak for yourself, Eric.
Oh,
I
don't
have friends.
And also with the lightning train story, another little aspect is, again, expectations. Like my one friend, the one that didn't like it, was saying it was like not what he likes in a pick up and deliver game.
Sure.
And it's like, well, maybe like that's not the primary focus. And it's like, again, like if we don't get the rules right and everybody at the table, like the transcontinental, like the end of the game is triggered by building this
long
connection.
Lines.
Yeah, from like San Fran to New York. Nobody did it but one player because two of us were like in our own world, like just trying to figure out the game. And the other one said he noticed, but he just didn't do anything. So the other player got like 40 points ahead. And it's like, oh, we're supposed to be competitive, but we weren't competitive in that area
Yes.
because of other rules issues and the bad teaching stuff.
Well, it's also the
So-
sometimes the game theme just doesn't resonate with people. Like you might have someone at your table who's like, my father got struck by lightning and then hit by a train, so the name lightning train is a little insensitive.
Yeah, you got to know.
That's a pretty specific way to go. So you'd imagine he'd still have some emotions. But I have played this with people before, not this game, but this idea where they have a very specific game in mind and they're mad that the game they're playing isn't the game they had in mind. And I'm like, there's nothing I can do about that, bud.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate that you like, Santorini. I love Santorini. Not every 2-player abstract game is going to be Santorini, and at a certain point complaining, I just wish there were more of a vertical building component to it. Yeah, bud, I know.
That's not what this is.
That's what they've got in Santorini. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of it is like when you have a bad first play, right? You gotta consider why. Not just I had a bad first play and leave it at that. It's why did I have a bad first play? Did I teach it poorly? I need to brush up on the rules. Did I have a bad experience with one of the players and I can fix that with some tweaks to how the game night is set up? Or was it simply just situationally not the right game at the right time?
Yeah, it's true.
Like if you use Lightning Train, you find out that one of your friends' dads got struck by lightning and then consequently hit by a train. The takeaway there is perhaps I don't play this game with this guy again because that's a very specific kind of trauma. But yeah, listeners, do you have any specific kinds of traumas that inhibit you from playing very specific board games? Leave it in the comments.
That's valid.
We'd like to know.
Yeah.
So we'd like to know what you think about this. Is it the people? Is it the rules? Is it a combination of things? And thank you so much for listening. Hope we made a good companion for your driving, house chores, routines, podcasts. I mean, you wouldn't listen to other podcasts while listening to
If you're trapped in a hot car listening to the podcast, get out of the hot car. Also take Mystic Veil with you. It will melt.
Listen to Eric. So once again, if you enjoyed, it would mean a lot to us if you could follow us and leave a review. See you in our next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.